और बनने तो पनीर
Sir, wait. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We commence this Teachers' Day celebration by paying floral tributes to the teacher and statesman par excellence, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the former President of India. I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to initiate the floral tributes. I now request the Registrar to pay his floral tributes. We now request the Deans of various faculties to pay their floral respects to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. We request the heads of various departments and the directors of various centers to submit their floral tributes to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan.
Dean Marirang. Dean Marirang Pinity.
Ready, sir? Sorry. Thank you. Yes, fine. Suresh. Sir,
We request the various research awardees also to join in paying floral tributes to the great leader Dr. S. Radhakrishnan.
Hazır.
We also request other aspiring representatives from the teachers and student community to join hands in offering their floral tributes to the former President of India, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. We request the commanding officers of the NCC also to offer their floral tributes. We request the student representatives to come and offer their floral tributes to the great leader, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. We humbly request the award winners to please occupy their allotted seats.
போட்டு மேலே
போடுங்க அதே போடுங்க
சார் திரும்பி போடுங்க அந்த பக்கம் போடுங்க.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are tributes to Dr. S. Radhakrishnan and celebrate Teachers' Day. Today we are assembled here in this renowned 90-year-old institution which opened the doors of learning as early as 1929 to impart knowledge and wisdom. On behalf of Annamalai University, I extend a hearty welcome to one and all for the Teachers' Day celebration of 2019. We commence the Teachers' Day function by invoking the blessings of Mother Tamil. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise for the Tamil Thai Vazhakku.
Good evening. Most Reverend Vice Chancellor of Annamalai University and President of this function, Professor V. Murugesan. Respected and beloved Registrar, Professor A. Krishna Mohan. The Deans of Faculties, Directors, invited guests, Heads of Departments, Professors and Teachers, members from media, the organizing team, non-teaching staff, and my dear students. I deem it a proud and present privilege to welcome you all for the 58th Teachers' Day celebrations at this historic convocation hall of our university. Our nation has innumerable unique features, one of which is the Teachers' Day celebrations. We hold the teachers at the highest esteem and pedestal, and perhaps that's why we celebrate Teachers' Day twice a year, the first one being Guru Purnima during the full moon day of June-July, and the next Teachers' Day celebrations on September 5th, the birthday of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Even on Teachers' Day celebrations, our nation stands well ahead and tall. The first Teachers' Day celebration was celebrated on September 5th of 1962 in India, and later on UNESCO declared October 5th as the International Teachers' Day in 1964 only. Many countries celebrate Teachers' Day on October 5th. A teacher was asked by a student to explain the difference between a guru and a teacher. After deep thought, the teacher listed a few, and the most prominent answers are: number one, a teacher answers your questions while a guru questions your answers. A teacher sends you to the road of success while a guru sends you to the road of freedom. A teacher leads you by hand, while a guru leads you by example. It is on this special day to honor teachers and celebrate their contributions. We fondly and gratefully remember the contributions of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who generously accepted that his birthday to be celebrated as Teachers' Day. My heartiest welcome to the President of this function and our Vice Chancellor, Professor V. Murugesan, an erudite scholar who has produced more than 30 PhDs, a passionate and compelling teacher who, despite his nerve-wracking schedule, delivers lectures to students every Wednesday, an able administrator who steers our university clear of her woes. I am very happy to welcome our beloved Registrar Professor N. Krishnamohan, who tirelessly work with abundant patience, unlimited endurance, and impeccable integrity to ably support our Vice Chancellor. I welcome my fellow deans of faculties, heads of departments, invitees, guests, directors, professors, teachers, the team of organizers of this Teachers' Day celebration, non-teaching staff, media persons, students, NCC officers, and cadets. Thank you very much.
Chancellor of Annamalai University to deliver the presidential address.
A very good evening to everyone. Respected Professor Krishnamohan, Registrar, Annamalai University, Professor Raghugandan, Coordinator of this program, and Dean, Faculty members, Professors, Associate Professors, Assistant Professors, invited former Professors, press and media, my dear research scholars, student friends, and other invitees. I join with Professor Raghugandan in welcoming you all for this very important and unique function, the Teachers' Day. First of all, let me say to every one of my colleagues, Happy Teachers' Day. I convey my Happy Teachers' Day to every one of us. I feel always proud. I have more than once said I always feel, because I like this profession, and that is why, in fact, I have not joined the teaching profession. I wedded this profession. I treat this is my second wife. Teaching is my second wife. My first wife is Mrs. Nageshri. My second wife is this teaching, and of course lately research. Later only comes to me my son, daughter, my grandson, granddaughter, everything is only occupying the next position, because I always respect my teachers and I always praise my teachers. என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா, அந்த காலத்தில் நம்மலாம் ஸ்கூலில் படித்தோம், ப்ரொஃபஸர் சீனியர் ஃபேக்கல்ட்டிலாம் தெரியும், உற்றுடுகு ஜோயும் ஒருபொருள் கொடுத்தும் பிற்றலை முடியாது கற்றல் நன்றே அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அந்த காலத்தில் நம்ம டீச்சர்ஸை, when we were studying in the schools, many of us would have studied only in government schools or board schools, and one has to walk for about 2 miles or 3 miles to go for a school. In those days, the teachers are respected so well. When I was going in a bicycle, if I see my first standard teacher, I will jump out, and sometimes the cycle will fall. Then we will say, "Vanakkam sir." Even today, if I meet my school teachers about 70-60 years before, I would have studied first standard or second standard. Even now, when I see such a teachers, of course, most of my primary school teachers, middle school teachers are no longer there, but even now, the body language which I learned from the teachers in the colleges, both at St. Joseph's College, Trichy, as well as at Laila College, Chennai, and later, when I started my career at Alagappa College of Engineering and Technology, Professor Sundar Ram Rao, who was the head of the Department of Chemistry, he used to come and audit my classes and let blackboard. See, you are starting from this bottom and you are ending at the top of the right hand side corner. This is not the way. This is what they are mentoring. The young faculty members were mentored by senior faculty colleagues, and that is why we gave lot of respect to our teachers, and that is the case with Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. I did not have an opportunity to meet him, but I have the great opportunity of meeting his grandson, Sarvapalli Gopalan. I invited Sarvapalli Gopalan, the grandson of course, another grandson is a great chemist. Many of you are aware, Professor J.C. Rajan. How many of you are aware? Chemistry department people and physics people would not forget about Professor Moda on X-ray crystallography. Even now, he continued to be Emeritus Professor at IEC, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is a renowned chemist and especially X-ray crystallographic, those young research scholars of physics and chemistry, please go and browse Professor Desiraj's website. You can see his citations are more than 20,000. Such is the greatest personality, not only Professor Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, his grandsons, Sarvapalli Gopalan is a great philosopher, and Professor Desiraj is a great chemist. So, teachers are not born. Teachers are only by their own interest they are created, and teachers are only creators, and these creators are creating the future pillars of this country. That is why this teaching profession is called a noble profession. And I am telling at this juncture, teaching profession is really a noble profession. Many old school of thoughts, if you ask in the villages and small towns, people used to say, teaching is an easy job. They say, நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எங்க வில்லேஜுக்கு போனா கூட என்னப்பா காலேஜில் ஒரு நாளைக்கு 2 மணி நேரம் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்க, மோஸ்ட் கம்ஃபர்டபுள் வேலை அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Today, my dear colleagues and students and research scholars, today teaching is very, very challenging job. It is not only just mere teaching the classes. See, you may not aware, the student friends I am telling, why such a breaks are given to only teachers, both school teachers and college teachers. The students would think, why the college teachers or school teachers are after 4 months of a semester, they give a break of about 15 days or a summer break of about 1.5 months or 2 months time, because they are mentally occupied. The very difficult job in the world is only the mental work. Any amount of physical work, whatever that you do, you should unlearn, relearn. That is the duty of a teacher. A teacher should, whatever that you taught the previous year, you must unlearn, you have to relearn, and then you have to redo again. That is the duty of a teacher. In the 21st century, I would rather say the most difficult job is only teaching profession. Because of the challenges, because of the IQ of the students. The students are sometimes much more clever than the teachers. So we have to be on the toes. Before we go to the classes, we have to be on the toes, we have to prepare, because if I am teaching 2005 or 2006, then the students will be updated with 2019, then we will become obsolete. And that is why it is a very challenging, and while technology is coming up, the responsibility of the teacher is also very, very high and very demanding. My dear students and faculty colleagues, why teaching is very, very difficult challenge. Now, teachers' role in those days, in 1960s, 1950s, is only teaching. Teaching, conducting examination, evaluation, awarding degree, that's all. But now, not only teaching, not only conducting examination, not only evaluating, but also other responsibilities are many more. See, in those days, you don't need to give a counseling to the students. Now you have to act as a counselor. You have to act as a counselor to the students, because in the 21st century, the students are exposed to so many other activities. So you have to counsel them, bring them to the neutral path, bring them to the right path, so that they will focus on their learning. Then you have to act as a hostel warden. You have to act as a mentor-mentee system. In addition to this, there are so many. Now, in those days, when we were students, there is no anti-ragging. So now we have to form an anti-ragging committee, and professors are acting as a members of the anti-ragging committee. And so many other committees are there in addition to the day-to-day preparation. Preparation itself is very, very difficult because the technology is changing, and that is why we have to update the knowledge. Not only updating the technology, but also we have to equip ourselves in the new pedagogy. The new, I mean yesterday, day before yesterday, Professor Annamalai was also mentioning, it is not only chalk and talk. That role is completely gone. Then we have this projector, overhead projector, that is also obsolete. Now PPT is going there. Now there are so many other IT and IT enabled teaching learning has come, and one of which is now, which is going to come, is a flipped classroom class environment. That means what is flipped classroom? Some of you would have attended Professor Annamalai's talk on day before yesterday. Flipped classroom environment is already there in National University of Singapore, Nanyang Technological University, Stanford University, MIT, Caltech, and University of California, and many other universities in the Europe also. They have a flipped classroom. What do you mean by flipped classroom? For the benefit of the students, I am telling you. See, today, teacher, Professor Veerapan will say, tomorrow we are going to learn about aquaculture. This is the topic. So next day, the students will prepare about aquaculture or whatever the topic, and it will be a group discussion. It is an open discussion. The students and teachers, so far the teaching was one-way traffic. We will only teach, and the students even should not ask questions in classrooms. Some classrooms, the students are prohibited from asking questions. But now, in the flipped classroom, it is completely a two-way traffic and a group discussion. The students will also talk about aquaculture, and if the teacher is not fully acquainted with the topic, he cannot be able to answer such of those cases. And that is why the flipped classroom is going to play a very important role in the coming years. And I request the young faculty colleagues from Annamalai University, you should be aware of this flipped classroom environment. For teachers like me, I think we are all gone and we are all obsolete. But for the young faculty in the age group of 35-40, you have to necessarily equip yourself for the flipped classroom environment. And that is why I am telling, say for example, I compare a software engineer with a teacher. A software engineer is always doing some kind of a development of a software. Anything else the software engineer is doing, he is only developing software or upgradation of the software. Nothing more than that. Say for example, if they are developing for IRCTC, they have developed a software for reservation. Next year, they will update a slight modification. But they are getting huge salary, and that is why to compensate the salary, we have to thank, all of us should thank Professor Dr. Manmohan Singh. He only felt that the teachers should be on par with the corporates, and that is why the 6th Pay Commission was given a hefty salary for the teachers, and the 7th Pay Commission is also going to be a very considerable amount of money for the teachers. It is because teaching is a challenging job. See, we will do too many jobs in a day. A teacher will go to the class for which he has to prepare. Then he has to go and take the classes, and not only just take the classes, he has to face the challenges of the students because of the high IQ of the students. Then after coming back, one has to prepare the laboratory classes or the assignment or correction. So a teacher will be fully engaged throughout the day, and not only throughout the day. Anybody, do you know that only a teacher, not any other officials, only the teacher, even after going home, is doing or she is doing some official related work, because she or he has to prepare for the next day's class. that can be done only at home. And that is why the teacher's job is a very challenging job. Not only challenging, but also as the technology is now very disruptive. And the technology is changing every day. And once the technology changes, it is a challenge for the teachers. And that is why the teaching profession is called a noble profession, because we are equipping ourselves on a day-to-day basis the new technology and giving the latest and contemporary topics to the students, and thereby the students are largely benefited. At this point of time, I have to say, not only the teachers are very responsible and they are very active, we have to not only give the teaching learning environment in the classroom, but also we, the teachers, should imbibe among the students three things. We have to necessarily, I request all teaching faculty, fraternity, we have to imbibe these three qualities to the present day students. You must make the students to think critically, think out of the box, think laterally. This is the first and foremost. In the classroom, we must make an environment in such a way that the students should think critically. Number two, we have to strengthen the students' visual skills, especially in civil engineering, structural engineering, mechanical engineering. One has to visualize in the three-dimensional fashion. Similarly, in the medical field also, one has to think the three-dimensional fashion. So, the visual skill, we have to strengthen the students' visual skills. And finally, third, very, very important, we have to teach them the values. Within quotes, the values. We have to teach the values also. Because I want to quote this one. If you lose your money, even if it is 1 lakh or 1 crore, whatever it is, if you lose any amount of money, you can always earn it back. Am I right? If you say, for example, if I lose 1 lakh or 2 lakh of rupees in a period of, not immediately, but in a period of time, over a time, I can earn back the money. If you lose your health, of course, it is very difficult to get it back, but you can always get it back because of the advancement in medical field, advancement in technology. I think the doctors will agree. Even if I have in those days about 30 years before, my dear students, village எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நைட்டு நல்லா தாங்க வந்தாரு, வந்து சாப்பிட்டாரு, நல்லா சாப்பிட்டாரு, படுத்தாருங்க. காலையில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எந்திரிக்கல. அப்போ வந்து ஹார்ட் அட்டாக்னா ஒரு 40 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி யாருக்குமே என்னன்னே தெரியாது. இல்லை அவர் வரத்தில் தோட்டத்திலேருந்து வர்றப்ப பாம்பு பண்ணி கடிச்சிருக்குமோ என்னமோ தெரியல, வந்து இப்போ சாப்பிட்டாரு, படுத்தாரு, காலையில் எந்திரிக்கல. தட் வாஸ் த டே. அதாவது அன்னைக்கு வந்து மெடிக்கல் ஃபீல்டு அவ்வளோதான் அட்வான்ஸ்மெண்ட் இருந்தது. ஸோ ஹார்ட் அட்டாக்னா என்னன்னு தெரியாது, ஸ்ட்ரோக் வந்துன்னா எப்படி க்யூர் பண்ணுறதுன்னு தெரியாது. அதே மாதிரி சுகர், அதே மாதிரி டயபெட்டிக், அதான் டயபெட்டிக் ஆர் ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன், இதுக்கெல்லாம் அன்னைக்கு வைத்தியம் கிடையாது. இன்னைக்கு இஃப் யூ டேக் மை டியர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், சென்னை சிட்டி இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த டாப் மோஸ்ட் சிட்டி ஃபார் மெடிக்கல் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட், எஸ்பெஷலி ஃபார் thoracic, cardiac, neurology, nephrology, any field of medicine. The medical field is advanced so much. So even if you lose your health, you may be suffering for some time, but you can recover back because of the advanced technology in the medical field. But if you lose your values, you will never get it back. If you lose your values, you never get it back. They are gone for once and all. That is why we have to teach them the values to the students. Today, the students are not willing to listen to values and professional ethics. So I request my faculty colleagues, not only the domain knowledge, but also you have to teach them professional ethics and also the values, because values are respect. three dimensions of reform which are needed in higher education, especially in colleges and universities. There are three important dimensions. One is access, number two is equity, and number three is quality. One is access to higher education, which of course in Tamil Nadu, access to higher education is not at all a problem. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா within 5 kilometers radiusல a student can get an arts and science colleges, even an engineering college is also available, and a medical college may be available in 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers radius. Access to higher education is not at all an issue. Similarly, the equity is also, in a country like ours, equity is very, very important, and equity is also taken care. But the third one, the quality of education, the third parameter or the third phase of the dimension is very, very important, which is called the quality. For ensuring quality in higher education, I am specifically talking about quality in higher education. I am not talking about quality in the primary school or quality in middle school or quality in higher secondary schools and high schools. Quality in higher education institutions, whether it is a national institute of eminence like IIT, IIMs or NIT, or whether it is a central university or like our university, state university, quality is one of the very important dimensions of the higher learning institutions, and especially in the draft new educational policy. When I say quality, what are all the focus that as a teacher we have to focus on quality? When the quality of higher learning institutions will improve, we have to see the various points or the parameters that can improve the quality of the higher education. If you take the quality, according to me, I have not seen from the National Higher Education Policy, this is my own way. The first and foremost parameter one should take care is about the modernization of curriculum. That is why after I joined here as Vice Chancellor, I have seen I want to revamp the entire curriculum and syllabus. We have to give them complete flexibility for the curriculum as well as syllabus. And the student from engineering should migrate to medical, and a medical student come to engineering. An art student should study a science course, a science student should study liberal arts course. That is the curriculum we have to provide to the students. A student will become in isolation in the 21st century if he is studying only chemistry or only botany or only civil engineering. He should also, a civil engineer should also know something about economics, something about accounting, something about liberal arts, something about social science. And that is why if you go and see in Sivanada University in Delhi, where they are offering engineering program, it is a blend of both liberal arts, engineering and science. So that is why our curriculum should be thoroughly revamped, and we have to give 100% freedom to the faculty members to design the curriculum. When I say curriculum, the curriculum includes syllabi also. The syllabus should be updated and it should be the latest one. So if we develop a curriculum which is sustainable and which can be able to test the knowledge of the students, then naturally the quality of education will improve. That is why the first parameter I would rather say, design the best possible curriculum which is on par with any international university or high ranking, top ranking 100 universities in the world. We have to design such a curriculum. At this juncture, on a Teachers' Day, I request my colleagues, you have to reconsider, rethink, redesign the curriculum in such a way that it should meet the requirement of the 21st century. The second most important is reformation in the examination system, which are all again rote reading system. The students have to memorize things and reproduce. We have to see the understanding of the subject, and also you have to, the students should be able to solve the problems, and also if it is a applied science subjects like engineering or medical or science, it should test the application of the particular subject, the application of those subjects, for which you must make a provision in the examination system. Still what we are doing, for out of 100 marks, we will give short questions for 20 marks, and then either are 16 marks into 5 questions, 5 into 16, 80. So totally 100 marks. This is no longer going to be beneficial to the students. It is not going to enhance the understanding of the subject, and that is why reformation in the examination system is very, very vital in order to improve the quality of education. Number 3, efficient teaching. When I say efficient teaching, it is not a single phrase. Efficient teaching will involve so many things that will be the testing time for the teachers. The teachers should be very efficient, and they have to be very much on the latest and contemporary topics they have to prepare. See, I told you already, if you go on talking about 1990, 2000 topic in my own subject organic chemistry, or in my subject inorganic chemistry, what my teacher taught in BSc, Professor Nambi, the same thing if I repeat. Today, that chemistry is not at all a viable chemistry. So, the quality means starting from the latest, old till the latest, we have to equip ourselves. So, efficient teaching is one of the very important parameter. And the third or the fourth parameter is R&D, research and development. I told many a forum that teachers, it is teaching and research are the two eyes of a teacher. If you feel teaching is the right eye, research and development is the left eye. How you will suffer if we are blind with one eye? We cannot able to see fully using the other eye. Similarly, a teacher in a higher learning institutions, like in colleges, in universities, the research is also equally important, and that is why in any of the ranking, whether it is a world ranking like QS ranking or the Times Higher Education ranking or any other world ranking, and also in Indian ranking, National Institutional Ranking Framework, similarly in the accreditation, whether it is an NBA accreditation for engineering or ICR accreditation for agricultural sciences, or whether it is as a whole accreditation for the university or colleges, National Assessment Accreditation Council, there is a more weightage for research and development and lesser weightage for teaching and learning. Not very broad, but if you say 30% for teaching learning, they are giving 40%, whereas international ranking 50% is given for R&D, 30% is only for teaching learning, and that is why the today's job for teachers are very, very challenging, because you are not only teaching in the classroom for postgraduate students or for undergraduate students or for research scholars, but we have to simultaneously engage ourselves in the research and development. When I say research and development, it comprises of writing projects, doing consultancy work for industries, and also publications. When I say publications, it is only the quality of the publications is very, very important. The quality of the publications, whether it is for social sciences, whether it is for medical sciences, biological sciences or chemical sciences, there are quality journals are available. We the teachers should be the role model for our scholars. We have to teach them what are all the quality publications, what are all the journals, Science Citation Index Journal, Social Science Citation Index Journal. We will call it as SCI or SSCI journals. We have to do, I would like to talk to one day research scholars about the quality versus quantity of research publications. If all the research scholars are willing to come to me for about an hour or so, I will talk specifically on the quality versus quantity of research publications. When I say publications, now no longer weightage is given for the number of publications. It is how many publications with high impact factor journals. When I say impact factor journals, for social sciences it may be 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.5. Whereas biological scientists can always publish in impact factor 4 or 5. A chemical science faculty can publish in impact factor 3 or 4. Whereas a medical science, I have already told my colleagues in the medical science faculty, you must bring out at least one publication from medical and dental, at least only one publication. On this day, I am going to announce one thing. If the medical doctors, both medical and dental, if they bring out one publication in lab, I am going to give 1 lakh rupee from my father's name. I am having an endowment in which I am going to give 1 lakh. If any one of the faculty in the medical or dental, if you bring a publication in Lancet, I will give you 1 lakh in a function like this. Similarly, for the sciences, science faculty, if you bring a publication either in nature or science, I am going to give 1 lakh. Any of the physics, there are 10, including agricultural scientists, medical scientists. These are all the quality publications. These are all the journals which will have impact factor more than 10, 15. I think nature is now with the impact factor of about 26 or 32. Similarly the science. So when I say, even if you publish one publication once in 5 years or once in 4 years, that will speak volumes about you. Even after 25 years, when your grandchildren is there, he will definitely refer, my grandfather has written an article in Nature or in Science. I would like to see that. And if your grandson or granddaughter is seeing that Nature or Science journal, he will be or she will be astonished to see hundreds and thousands of citations. That is where I talk about the quality of publication. So these are the 4 important parameters. If you want to really target on the higher education importance, we have to pay attention for this, which the quality, everywhere now people talking about quality. My dear female faculty members, when you are asked to buy a saree for your sons or daughters' wedding, you are not compromising with Bhuvnagiri silk saree or Tirubonam silk saree. You want to have only Kanjivaram. Am I right? Where you are giving quality. You say that Tirubonam is not a quality silk saree or Bhuvnagiri is not a quality silk saree, so you want to have only original Kanjivaram silk saree, and you want to go to Kanjivaram and buy a Kanjivaram silk saree. After all, the lifetime of the saree is maybe 10 years or 15 years. Whereas the publications which you are going to make will speak volumes about you even after 100 years, but we are not giving importance for the quality. That is where I wanted to say quality in research. These are all after all materials. This coat, overcoat, which I am going to use, whether it is Raymond or whether it is anything, which may last only for 10 years. After all, after 10 years, this is going to be useless. So, when I see quality, I want to get a Raymond, but I am not looking at the quality of the publications or the quality of teaching or the quality of R&D. And that is why this is a good occasion, because the chief guest has not come. I had the opportunity to open up my mind. I want to talk this in a particular forum, but today I got an opportunity to say about this because the chief guest is about to come. So I will start this, and again on this very special day, let us all talk about quality in this campus. Everybody, not only the teachers, the administrative staff also, both administrative, when I say both the technical staff as well as administrative staff, start from Vice Chancellor till the last man in this campus, we have to say quality, quality, quality. That should be our ultimate, and if we maintain the quality, definitely what we dream today will be realized in a short span of time. This university is going to become one of the top ranked universities not only in this country but also across the globe. So everybody, let us take a pledge today on the Teachers' Day. Let us take a pledge today. The students also should take a pledge. You have to take an oath that we will always think about quality. Quality not in materials, not in building quality, not in materials. Quality in teaching, quality in R&D, quality in teaching learning. The students should have a quality in teaching learning, and the teachers should give a quality in teaching learning. And that is why this particular Teachers' Day, I wanted to say ultimately the carry home message for every one of the teachers and the students. Let us all pledge that we will maintain high quality, not only quality, but we will maintain high quality in all spheres of our activities, not only in teaching, not only in other activities. Every sphere in this university, every dimension of this university, let us talk about quality, and there should be, I would like to put one person as an in charge and a team of persons for quality enhancement in all spheres, which is going to be a vital force in this university, which is going to be the driving force to meet the challenges in this 21st century. So let us all pledge today, we will maintain the quality everywhere. So with this, I will conclude my speech that there are LST portion. Anyone say what is meant by LST quotient? Students, LSD. I will give you a clue. L for Lakshmi, S for Saraswati, D for Durga. Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga. Lakshmi is for earning money, which is to help others. Saraswati is to gain knowledge and to empower the society. You have to, Saraswati is for gaining knowledge which will empower every one of us. And that is why Lakshmi for money, which money not for you but for serving the society. S for Saraswati for empowering yourself. D for Durga to gain courage to face the challenges. With this, I thank you for this great opportunity. It is a good occasion that I will be able to open up my mind, and I have great pleasure once again wishing you all a happy Teachers' Day. Thanks one and all. Thank you.
மாண்பனை துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களே, இங்கு வருகை தரவிருக்கும் மதுரை காமராஜர் பல்கலைக்கழக துணைவேந்தர், இங்கு வந்த பிறகுதான் எனக்கு தெரியும் அவரும் என்னுடைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட். மரியாதைக்குரிய இனிய நண்பர் பதிவாளர், அறிவியல் புல முதல்வர் மற்றும் இங்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய புல முதல்வர் அவர்களே, ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்களே, அன்பு மாணவர்களே, செயலகத்திலிருந்து வந்திருக்கும் நண்பர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் என் மாலை வணக்கம். நான் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் 1955ஆம் ஆண்டு இன்டர்மீடியேட் மாணவனாக சேர்ந்து 1999இல் பேராசிரியராக ஓய்வு பெற்றேன். இங்கு 45 ஆண்டுகள் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் எனக்கு சம்பந்தம் இருக்குது. மாணவனாக, ஆய்வு மாணவனாக, பயிற்றுனராக, ஆசிரியராக, பேராசிரியராக பல விதங்களில் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் பணிபுரிந்து ஓய்வு பெற்று மிக கணிசமான ஓய்வூதியமும் பெற்று வருகிறேன். இந்த நேரத்தில் இப்பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை நிறுவிய செட்டிநாட்டு அரசர் பெருமுடைய வல்லர் ராஜாசர் அண்ணாமலை செட்டியார் அவர்களுக்கும் அவருடைய மைந்தர் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை கட்டி காத்த ராஜாசர் முத்தைய செட்டியார் அவர்களுக்கும் அவருக்கு பின் டாக்டர் என் ராமசாமி அவர்களுக்கும் என்னுடைய நெஞ்சார்ந்த ஒரு நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் இங்கு அமையவில்லை என்று சொன்னால் நான் ஏதோ ஒரு சிற்றூரிலே விவசாயமோ வியாபாரமோ செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். ஆசிரியர் தினம் கொண்டாடுகின்ற நேரத்தில் என்னுடைய ஆசிரியர்கள் டாக்டர் கோவிந்தன், டாக்டர் முத்துக்கருப்பன் மற்றும் ஏனைய ஆசிரியர்களை நினைவு கூர்ந்து அவர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய நன்றியினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். எனக்கு கல்வி செல்வத்தை கொடுத்து கற்பிக்கும் புனித தொழில் என்று சொன்னால் நம்முடைய அறிவை நாமே வளர்த்துக் கொள்வதற்கு இங்கு ஊதியமும் தருகிறார்கள். அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு புனித தொழிலை செய்து இப்போ அதாவது சமூகத்தில் உயரிய ஒரு இடத்தை பெற்றுத்தந்த இப்பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் என்றென்றும் நினைவில் கொள்வது. இப்பல்கலைக்கழகம் 90வது ஆண்டு விழா கொண்டாடுகின்ற இந்த நேரத்தில் இப்பல்கலைக்கழகத்திற்கு குறிப்பாக நான் படித்த விளங்கிய துறைக்கும் ஒரு சிறு தொகையை நன்கொடையாக கொடுப்பதில் பெருமகிழ்ச்சியும் பெருமையும் கொள்வது. இப்பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை மிகச் சிறப்பாக நிர்வகித்து வரும் துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களுக்கு என் பாராட்டுகளையும் வாழ்த்துக்களையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். துணைவேந்தர் கூறிய பொழுது டீச்சிங் அண்ட் ரிசர்ச் சம்பந்தப்பட்டதாக சொன்னார்கள். அதை பற்றி என்னுடைய முந்தைய துணைவேந்தர் டாக்டர் எஸ் வி சிட்டிபாபு அவர்கள் சொல்வார்கள், டீச்சிங் வித்தவுட் ரிசர்ச் இஸ் ரூட்லெஸ், ரிசர்ச் வித்தவுட் டீச்சிங் இஸ் ஃப்ரூட்லெஸ். இது ஒரே வார்த்தைக்கு தான் சொல்லுவார். டீச்சிங் வித்தவுட் ரிசர்ச் இஸ் ரூட்லெஸ், ரிசர்ச் வித்தவுட் டீச்சிங் இஸ் எ ஃப்ரூட்லெஸ். இது ஒரே வார்த்தைக்கு தான் சொல்லுவார். அடுத்து சர்வப்பள்ளி ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களை சொல்லும்போது அவர் இங்கே வந்திருந்தார்கள். நான் சிறு வயதில் அவரை பார்த்துட்டு மாணவனாக இருக்கும்போது நம்முடைய சயின்ஸ் பிளாக் அவர்கள் திறந்து வைத்தார். கோவை நாட்டுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடிய சயின்ஸ் பிளாக்கை சர்வப்பள்ளி ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள் தான் திறந்து வைத்தார்கள். அவருடைய ஒரே ஒரு கொட்டேஷன் என்னவென்றால், எ டீச்சர் இஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் எ ஸ்டூடெண்ட். எப்பொழுதுமே மாணவனாக இருந்து படித்துக் கொண்டு தான் அவன் ஆசிரியருக்கு வந்து செய்ய வேண்டும். எப்பொழுதுமே அவன் ஆல்வேஸ் இஸ் எ டீச்சர். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் இந்த ஆசிரியர் தொழில் என்பது நம்மளாமே அறிவை வளர்த்துக் கொள்வதற்காக கொடுக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு ஊதியம். நாம் நம்ம அறிவை வளர்த்துக் கொள்கிறோம் எவ்ரிடே. அதற்காக ஒரு ஊதியத்தையும் நாம் பெற்றுக்கொள்கிறோம். அதனால் இது புனிதமான மிக சிறந்த சமுதாய சக்திகளை உருவாக்கும் ஒரு தொழிலாகும். இத்துடன் நான் முடித்துக்கொண்டு இந்த 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய் நன்கொடையாக கொடுக்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you. More significant to appreciate and reward our faculty members for their teaching and research contributions. We request the award winners to please come up from the right side of the dais, receive the award. From the Faculty of Science, Dr. S. Kapilan, Dean, Faculty of Science. From the Faculty of Marine Sciences, Dr. A. Sundaramanikam, Assistant Professor, Center for Advanced Studies in Marine Biology. From the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Dr. S. Ramanathan, Professor, Department of Manufacturing Engineering. From the Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. M. Prakash, Professor, Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding. From the Faculty of Medicine, Dr. N. Junior Sindresh, Professor, Department of General Surgery. For the Best Researcher in Women for publications for the year 2018-19, From the Faculty of Arts, Dr. Rincy V. Matthew, Associate Professor, Department of Business Administration. Dr. J. Jayabharati, Professor, Department of Chemistry. From the Faculty of Indian Languages, Dr. P. Vijaya, Assistant Professor, Center for Advanced Studies in Linguistics. From the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Dr. J. Sasikala, Associate Professor, Department of Information Technology. From the Faculty of Dentistry, Dr. V. Veera Verma, Professor, Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Pathology. In the category of Young Best Researcher for Men for publications for the year 2018-19, from the Faculty of Arts, Dr. S. Tanigai Velan, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy. From the Faculty of Science, Dr. V. Vinod Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry and Biotechnology. From the Faculty of Marine Sciences, Dr. P. Ramesh, Assistant Professor, Center for Advanced Studies in Marine Biology. From the Faculty of Indian Languages, Dr. E. Veerappan, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce Studies and Research. From the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Dr. S. Saravanan, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. From the Faculty of Education, Dr. S. Venkataraman, Assistant Professor, Department of Education. From the Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. R. Anandan, Assistant Professor, Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding. In the category of Young Best Researcher in Women for publications for the year 2018-19, from the Faculty of Science, it is Dr. A. Justin Painuri, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry and Biotechnology. From the Faculty of Indian Languages, Dr. N. Pillai Selvi, Associate Professor, Department of Hindi. In the category of Best Researcher for Grants for the year 2018-19, from the Faculty of Agriculture, it goes to Dr. P. Balabhaskar, Associate Professor, Department of Plant Pathology. For the Best Researcher, for the Best Researcher among Women for Grants for the year 2018-19, from the Faculty of Science, it goes to Dr. J. Jayabharati, Professor, Department of Chemistry. For the Young Best Researcher among Men for the year 2018-19, in the Faculty of Arts, the award goes to Dr. S. Tanigai Velan, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy. In the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, the award goes to Dr. P. Sivaraj, Associate Professor, Department of Manufacturing Engineering. In the Faculty of Agriculture, the Young Best Researcher award goes to Dr. R. Kanakarajan, Associate Professor, Department of Entomology.
Close-up word
In the category of Young Best Researcher among Women for Grants for the year 2018-19, the award goes to Dr. K. Sai Assistant Professor, Department. N. Krishna Mohan, Registrar of Annamalai University, to propose the vote of thanks.
I am very sorry to say, Professor Krishnan, Vice Chancellor of Malayakamba University, could not make it up because of late arrival from Madurai. He will be reaching here in after another half an hour. Let us not waste and wait our time. So I feel very sorry to inform you that it was after half an hour. So I now request Mr. Krishna Mohan to propose vote of thanks.
Most respected and beloved our Vice Chancellor, who takes more pride in identifying himself as a teacher rather than an administrator. The coordinator of today's event and Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Rokandan, other members of the organizing committee, the deans of various faculties, directors of various centers, heads of various departments of study, faculty members, controller of examinations, the commanding officer of NCC, the press and media, and my dear students. Indeed, it is a very heartening day for all the teachers because we are getting passed out the students, all the teachers. We have been receiving, and it has been a really wonderful day for us. At least people are remembering, at least for a day, about the teachers. So it's a great feeling. A lot of things have been told, and our Vice Chancellor is the most eligible person to talk about the role of a teacher, the role of a teacher in an educational setup. And when our former professor, Professor K.V. sir was talking, he recalled his teachers. All of you should know that you are all studying in an institution which is 90th, celebrating its 90th year. Right? You must first of all understand that the building you are sitting in is really very old. It should be at least 80 years old, I believe. So when you are walking through the corridors of any building or the roads of Annamalai, you should know how to tread that path. You are treading the path of great stalwarts. He mentioned about going and we can list out a big list of teachers, great teachers of zoology like Annamalai, Sankaramurthy, Sri Ramu. He himself is a good teacher. Professor K.V. Lot, if I start listing out zoology, there are a lot of people. Botany, starting from seeing that. Great people. Ramasamy, Srinivasan, so many great stalwarts were there in botany, commerce, Matthew, Gopalakrishna, so many people. BVR, Ramchandran. See, if I start naming some, I may miss out few names. So it's great. So take any department, even medicine, stalwarts like great surgeon like Nanjundra was the first principal of the medical college. Dr. B. Srinivasan, one of the stalwarts, was the first principal of a dental college. He is the man who built the dental college. Today you are studying in the dental college because of its great effort. Agriculture, great people. Starting from Krishnamurthy, Rangasamy, the list goes on. And go to the west, starting in 1945, the engineering faculty many stalwarts. So the teachers, they are not there. The mortal remains are not there. But see, we are remembering those people today. That's why I always say a good teacher will never die. ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர் என்றுமே அவர் ஒரு சிரஞ்சீவி, என்றுமே அவருடைய மாணவர்களின் உள்ளங்களிலும் மனதிலும் வாழ்ந்து கொண்டே இருப்பான். அந்த ஆசிரியர் அவனுக்கு இறப்பே கிடையாது. நல்ல ஆசிரியனுக்கு இறப்பே கிடையாது. இன்று கூட நான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம் பாருங்க, ரங்கசாமி பற்றி பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம், சிங்கை பற்றி பேசுவோம். See, he is a man who started research on the effect of music on plants, the growth of plants. என்னைக்கு எப்பயோ long ago. So it is up to the teachers of today whether we will be one of the one in a crowd, or one in 1,000, or one in a lakh, or one in it is up to the teacher. We have our own the choice. So it is up to us, and as our senior colleague has mentioned that he is receiving a decent pension, right? To that extent, he could say there is a lot of message in that. Yesterday, the salaries were very low. I was talking about all these names, they received a paltry salary. When the salaries were very low, the quality was more. So I feel that today's teachers, increasingly their feeling is creeping into their mind that they are all working class. Unfortunately, they are not. They are not working class. Of course, we are all working for our bread. That's a different matter. But that doesn't entitle us that to bracket ourselves as working class. We are not working class. We are all mentoring class. We are mentoring the students, the future of this country. That's why this great man has rightly told the destiny of the nation is shaped in the classrooms. So we must make the classrooms more purposeful, more productive, so that the leaders of tomorrow, the leaders, when I say need not be public life, they can be also. But the leaders of the industry, leaders of the research centers, the leaders of great institutes are sitting in front of us. They are all looking at us. How we are going to guide them, how we are going to develop them into, transform them into the great men and women of tomorrow. So this is for the teachers. What about the students, yourself? In front of you, all the choices are there. The good is there, the bad is there. Everything is there in front. Today's life is full of choices for you. You have to make the right choice. God has given you all the liberty to make choices. But unfortunately, we make always a wrong choice. The reason is very simple. Our mind always says follow the route of or the path of least resistance. So we want to do anything that is very easy. We don't want to take anything which requires hard work, perseverance. So we must take the challenges. My role is only a vote of thanks, but I always looking at the students, the teacher in me has woken up. That's the reason. Anyway, I think I am the most qualified person here to talk like this. I have completed 36 years and I am the 37th year serving with you. I am the most qualified person to tell you all these things, I believe.
And the dean was telling a good teacher leads by an example. He will not take you by hand, He will lead you by an example. He will show you the path. He will not carry you. Am I right? So, I thank our most revered Vice Chancellor for all his good words, piece of advice to the teachers as well as the students here today, and as well as for all the good things he has been doing for all of us, the teachers, the non-teaching staff, the students, and the university. So on this happy occasion of Teachers' Day, we are all indebted to our Vice. And so remember, see this, he should have been at United States, he has not gone. His wife has gone there, and he is not gone, and he is here only to take care of us. So that is his dedication. That's how we have been doing things. Sir, I thank on behalf of the university and on behalf of all present here for all the efforts and for all the nice work you have offered. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Raghunandan, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology, and the coordinator for today's Teachers' Day celebrations function, and his wonderful team of teachers, non-teaching staff, and the entire team has worked wonderfully, and we see the function has gone very well. Though the chief guest, unfortunately, because he started in the morning, and as you know, on road, it's always so there's a hold up due to traffic. Probably when we all disperse, he may be entering. And remember, he is the old student of our zoology department. It's a great thing, So, though he is not here, we thank the professor. Certainly, we will invite him again on a suitable occasion. And we thank our most distinguished alumnus, Professor Krishnan, Vice Chancellor of Madurai Kamaraj University, for because he has made the efforts, but he couldn't make it. Unlucky is a question whether we are all unlucky that we couldn't hear him, or he is unlucky because he couldn't be in the midst of us. It's really either way. We have both of all of us have missed a wonderful opportunity. But anyway, man proposes, God disposes. He will be here on this stage on a suitable occasion in future. That's what I wish. That's what I wish to happen. We thank him, though he is. We will be thanking him privately after he arrives. But it is our courtesy and responsibility that the Vice Chancellor of Madurai Kamaraj University is being profusely thanked for accepting our invitation to be a part of this function. Thank him on your behalf and on behalf of the university. And I thank all the deans, the directors of various centers, the heads, the faculty members, the teachers, the students, the invitees, Professor K.V. sir, for donating the sum of rupees 1 lakh for the 90th year celebrations. And I thank the commanding officer, Mr. Manish Malhotra, and the press and media, all the people present here, and I thank all the supporting staff, the electrical division, for making all the arrangements. Thank you, one and all.
Shubha Name
எடுத்துருக்கோங்க எங்கே
இல்லை இப்போ இல்லை பேசிட்டு
சைலண்ட் சைலண்ட் சாப்பிடுங்க சார் ரெடி சாப்பிடுங்க கேப்பில் போதும் ப்ரோ சாப்பிடுங்க சார் ரெடி சார் எடுக்கலாங்க சார் வருஷம் வர சார் வாங்கி சார் ரெடி சார் சார் ரெடி